What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're here and watching, I really appreciate you. If you could give me a like and subscribe, that'd be great. It'll go a long way in helping me do what I can to help others. So I wasn't going to make a video today. I really hadn't thought of a topic, and on top of that, my wife told me that I look tired. Um, I do, and I am. But I got an email from somebody, I think yesterday, that just got me thinking. So this person says that they got out of prison early last year, and they already feel like giving up their reentry efforts. Um, they are finding it hard to reintegrate, partially because they spent a significant amount of time in prison, and they found that the world that they are returning to is not the one that they left. But the main issue that they're having is that they're just having doors closed in their face. And I think a lot of us who have done any time, whether it you know, be a couple of days in the county jail or, lengthy prison sentences, we can relate to. So what I want to talk about is just getting our minds right. And what does it mean for somebody looking to re-enter society to get their minds right? Only that this thing is a journey, and that we have to approach it as such. We have to approach it with the right mind state. So as a lot of us have maybe experienced, not a lot is going to just kind of fall in our laps. We have to act with purpose, with intention, with courage, with faith. And I think one of the most important things that we need to keep in mind is that we have to know that we are worthy. And knowing that we're worthy, believing that we're worthy, for a lot of us, it goes against everything that we've been told for the longest time, from correctional officers to parole and probation officers to many in society who just say that we are less than. For some reason, we tend to put more stock in what others say about us than we do in the things that we know are true about ourselves. So what I found effective is to take inventory of all the things that are positive about us and kind of move those to the forefront of our thinking. And if you can imagine a scale, right? And we put all the negative labels on one side of it, and then all the things that we know are true about ourselves, all the positive things. I think that we'll find that the positive far outweighs the negative. It's just so easy to forget that when we're talking about a criminal record that will never go away, or in most cases won't go away, absent a expungement or something of that nature. But what we can do is we can help ourselves to diminish the significance of that conviction by helping to stack the cards in our favor, whether that's holding down a job long term, whether it means getting more education, whether it means raising a family, whatever is important to us, and the things that we think are important from a societal viewpoint. The more that we accomplish, I think the less weight we tend to give to that conviction. And truth be told, the less weight that society will give to that conviction, especially over the course of time. When I came out of prison more than 20 years ago, it's hard to believe. But yeah, when I came out of prison more than 20 years ago, I faced the same issues that most of those looking to reenter faced. I was denied employment, denied housing, loss of civil rights, and I just felt like I was worthless and helpless, and that there was nothing I could do about it. So at some point, I just told myself, let me start doing positive things. Let's see how it plays out. Let me see what I can do to counteract, to the extent that I can, the effects of this conviction and incarceration. So today, I'm what I would consider a success story. I got an education. I'm a family guy. And about 10 years ago, I received a full pardon from the state which has been very beneficial. It's opened doors that were previously closed. And I think one of the biggest benefits of that pardon, it feels like an affirmation that I've done everything I could do to kind of right my wrongs, if that makes sense. And it feels good to know that people around me think that I'm, they see me as a hard worker. They see me as a good friend. They see me as a good human, right? It's very basic, but it's something that we need, something that I needed. And I'm proud that that's where I stand today. So many of us struggle with our sense of self-worth, and it's easy to see why. But if we can't see the value in ourselves, then I think we're doomed oftentimes to fall into the same behaviors and patterns that got us into trouble in the first place. So people come out of prison and we see them fail in every way imaginable. They reoffend. They stay free, but they live like this life of misery and just mediocrity. Some find it generally too much to bear. They feel as though they're unworthy of greatness and that they will always be unworthy. They feel helpless, and it's just not true. So one thing that helps me know that people can change is my personal story. I was not a good human being at one point. I was not kind, was not empathetic. And today I look back on that person and it's hard to imagine that it was me. Physically, of course it was me, but I just don't recognize that kid anymore. And it's helped me realize that no matter what's in your past, you can overcome it. People change, people get better. So I read on Twitter this morning that a guy was denied housing again. Understandably, he's very frustrated. The denial came because of his criminal record, of course. And I think despite the frustration, that this is the perfect example of times where we need to dig the deepest, because if we don't, then these letdowns are going to pile up. They're going to beat us down. They're going to frustrate us, and they're going to make us want to quit, which obviously is something that we can't afford to do. And in fact, I feel his pain on this one because it's happened to me. And I applied for an apartment some years ago, and the property system flagged me. What I was able to do, though, is to meet with someone who was in a position to reverse that decision. So after sitting down with me, kind of learning about me, learning about my conviction, which was a disqualifying conviction for that particular property, he, reversed. And I say that because I think, that's not always going to be the case. We're not always going to be able to talk our way into something that is kind of out of our control. But it's an example of how perseverance and how putting that human element towards something can help mitigate the effects of your conviction. So in closing, I just, the entire purpose of this was just to serve as a reminder that we have to be intentional about this entire reentry process. We have to have the correct mental state. We have to be able to we have to know first, know it ourselves. And then we have to continually remind ourselves that we are as good as anyone. There are doors that we are not going to be able to open. And that's just a fact. That's part of the collateral consequences that come with certain criminal convictions. But that said, there's so much that we can do. We are as good as anybody. And I think the sooner that we believe that, the better off we're going to be. So there's no better time than now to remember who you are, know yourself, know your value, be resilient, fight. Let's go.